passing this recipe to my mother.
It's magical dining.
Princess the Bear here today. We're chilling on International Drive inside the Hyatt Regency Hotel because...
it's time for magical dining.
Yes, so we're starting with...
Fiorenzo.
Of course, this place just rests halfway in between Universal and Disney World because the number one choice of foodie of time. When there's things to try in either place or even in between, we're going to try it. So remember, she's vegan. I'm not. I hope she knows the way.
Time to foodie and chill.
Spinach and artichoke pizza, vegan, and there's a gluten-free alternative available.
The most beautiful spinach artichoke vegan pizza. I love a good vegan pizza. I love a good cheese bowl. Though this cheese doesn't really look much like it's melty, but I bet it's tasty. Cheers. Cheese is definitely not melty, but the toppings are really nice. I like the bread. Not the best pizza dough that I've had, but it still gives good bread. It's fresh ingredients, freshly baked. I love a stone-cooked pizza. It's Italian, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 pizzas. It is magical.
We like a good flatbread anything, a little flatbread pizza. It's got all the fixings that make it a winner. You got the bits of tomato in there, some chunks of garlic, the spinach on top. It's herbed, and you see the vegan cheese. These ingredients are the basis of a good bite. It's a nice herb-filled bite. It is using what I would probably consider to be a lower quality vegan cheese, and you can taste that sort of like strong artificial cheese imitation flavor, which can sometimes throw you. I thought with the rest of the ingredients that maybe it would sort of like blend in and maybe you wouldn't notice, but you definitely notice. It tastes like original recipe diet cheese. Either way, the crust is good, the toppings are good. If you have an affinity for vegan cheeses that aren't top level, you may want to avoid. But for the price, value is value. Because you won't even get pizza this good, vegan or otherwise, at Walt Disney World. I would give it 2.75 out of 5 plus.
Nonna's meatball.
I feel like you can always tell when you're in an Italian steakhouse or Italian restaurant, period, based on the size of their meatballs. This is an appetizer. This is a Nonna's meatball. This is the size of a child's small head, like an infant's head. My nephew's head, now he's got a big head, it's already bigger than this. Either way, this is a massive meatball in the sauce, in the gravy as it were, topped with all the cheeses. It's a nice, thick, chunky boy. It's almost a meatball soup. It is a wonderfully well-seasoned cheese-topped meatball. Even from the first bite, I taste well-seasoned beef, brown, shaped to the meatball, the cheese with that nice, like, sort of like slightly sour texture on top. And the sauce is great. It's hot, as in like temperature hot, not spicy hot. But the flavors give me hot flashes in all the best ways. I'll give that 4 out of 5 plus.
Rombauer Zinfandel, vegan and gluten-free.
The Rombauer is a Zinfandel that we got a 2020 bottle of wine, so it's kind of in its feelings. It's got a beautiful glass. I love the hue to it. It smells amazing. It smells like just really light, not heavy. So let's see if it tastes light and not heavy. As light as your average Zinfandel, maybe a little bit lighter. It has some like tart notes to it, like some cherry notes, which I kind of like. It's very like almost desserty, but I think it'll pair well with my magical dining meal. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 wines. It'll make me feel pseudo fine.
Our first sip of beverages here at Fazzello's this Rombauer Vineyard Zinfandel. I know you probably see magical dining if you've been to Orlando a few times, or even if you've lived here and wondered what it is. It's basically the ability to eat at restaurants that are usually a bit more higher tier, a bit more higher price, for what is essentially a reduced price prefix menu. Now, you don't normally have access to the whole menu. Now, you can order a la carte if you wish, but that prefix price covers your starter, your main, and a dessert normally. And then add-ons are usually included in there somewhere. If there's something you want to gussy it up. But that allows us to travel outside Disney World and maybe try things different, which is exactly what we think you should do. So cheers, new experiences, and magical dining. Tart boy. Very cherry forward. Right front of the mouth. Nice ripe cherry. It sits with your hands. I wouldn't say full body, like medium body. But if you like tart, crisp wines, then the Zinfandel is for you. Me, it depends on what I'm eating it with, what we're pairing with. That's it. It's a terrible wine. I would never buy this for the house. But the princess would drink most. 3.5 out of 5.
Jackie's Godfather is vegan and gluten-free.
I wonder who Jackie's Godfather is. If you know, tell me in the comments. Cheers. I don't know how I feel about this drink. I think it's like a dessertish style drink. The liquor comes through, but then there's like this sweetness, like orangey almost taste to it that, I don't know, makes you feel like you're walking through the leaves in the fall. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 old fashions.
Maybe the little Jackie's Godfather isn't going to make me an offer that I can't refuse. Here, it's not Jackie's birthday. I don't think it's Jackie's birthday. I know a lot of Jackies, but it could be one of the Jackie's birthdays. A monkey shoulder scotch with amaretto di Sarno and some bitter. So it's basically a version of an old fashioned. It smells like one. It smells strong. It smells like I might have like monkey hair on my chest after I drink this. Or maybe it's giving me indie vibes. Maybe just have indie on the brain lately. Ooh. I kind of like that. I always wanted to mix amaretto with like a strong scotch or whiskey because amaretto's got like that those almond flavors that I feel would really mellow out a really sharp but good scotch or whiskey. In this case, I seem to have done just that. The bitters are there just enough to give it like a little layer of complexity, but that is a good, strong, stiff drink. I have no use for those, but I drink them anyway. That 4.75 out of 5 plus.
The Chunk 6-ounce vegan filet.
This is a vegan steak. This is actually always on the menu. It is not just for magical dining, so you can order it anytime. This is a Chunk steak, that's the brand, and then they have a house-made vegan clarified butter that they put on the steak that I'm just gonna rub all over it. And then I'm gonna take it off and put it on these veggies. It's served with multicolored cauliflower, broccoli, asparagus, and looks like some maybe tomatoes. Let me just go ahead and go in on this steak. It pulls very well. It very much reminds me of Juicy Marbles. Juicy Marbles does the same thing. We've tried all of the Juicy Marbles products, but I've never had Chunk before. So let's see how it compares. My world has been changed. That is incredible. The cook on that is perfect. There's like a beautiful char. I have this like veggie style aftertaste, so it's not like super meaty. I have never had beef before, so I don't really know what it's supposed to taste like. But I can say that in comparison to Juicy Marbles, this one is less greasy and has like a different like flavor. It's not as dense as it's juicy marbles, and I kind of like that a lot. I'm glad that it's here all the time because I feel like I'm going to be asking Bear to come here quite a bit when we're not filming or for a fancy dinner, or if we can't go to Grace for some reason. That is a 5 out of 5. That is a Princessi's item. You gotta try this steak.
I know a lot of you see vegan steak, which I know that most of you that watch this channel are not vegan, and you cringe a little bit. But why shouldn't people that can't eat steak, or just don't want to eat steak, be denied the flavors and delight of coming to a steakhouse and being able to enjoy food with everybody else? That is the reason why plant-based steak is sort of like this up-and-coming category of plant-based foods that has us so excited. This is a beautiful, beautiful looking little cut. It's given that little filet petite cut, nice and thick. Now, it is a cooked chef's choice, which is medium. See that char in here, the nice color gradient in there. Little threads, looks a little bit like a pulled beef, but this is a plant-based steak. Ooh. I have never been one of those smear butter on everything type of people. For me and butter, there is a hard limit. A hard limit on how much butter I can take on anything. But the clarified butter that they put on top of the steak goes a long way towards selling the idea and flavor of this. The steak itself is meaty. It's got this nice smoky, like straight from the fire. They pride themselves on their fire, their grill back here, and this tastes like it was born from it, like any other steak. It's a nice meaty steak. It is meaty, that like meat, grease, heaviness that you would get from a real steak, but the flavors are in there dancing on my tongue like this is some sort of like fine ballroom dance of magical dining. I can see why the princess wanted to come here. I'd say that this compares very close one-to-one to the juicy marble we had. I'd say even the flavors of this being cooked in the restaurant might actually just tip the scales in their favor over ordering a frozen steak from across the pond in juicy marble. I'd like to see Chunk Foods make more of these. This is delicious, and I want to see more of like these things proliferate to the other steakhouses in Orlando because you have competition now. That should worry you. It's a 5 out of 5 clause. If you are vegan or plant-based, or you just can't eat beef for any reason, I think this is something that you should give a shot at some point.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a piece of one of these purple cauliflowers with some clarified butter on it, and I'm just gonna try it. I wonder if it's as good as the steak. Let's see. The veggies are a little al dente, and I'm really not into them as much as I would be with the steak. Like I would prefer like maybe some smashed potatoes or something with it. Bear steak doesn't come with anything, so I guess I'm lucky that mine comes with something. I think the veggies detract from the star, which is the steak, which is fire. So the veggies are like a 2 out of 5, but the overall dish is like a 5 out of 5. You gotta have it.
Pizzello's is a steakhouse, and they kind of want you to know. Come in here, you smell the fire. The atmosphere is very much steakhouse, but not like old stuff from your grandfather's steakhouse. It's more of like a more modern, upscale. Let's let the youth come and enjoy our steakhouse without feeling like we're eating in a closet. And yes, when it feels like I'm talking about a place very specific, I am calling out Shula's. Your place is like a coffin. I'm sorry, but somebody has to say it. I like the atmosphere in this place. I don't like feeling like I'm eating in a coffin. And I do like big veggies. I'll get off my soapbox now. I have to agree with the princess. The veggies are a little al dente, but I actually kind of prefer them that way. I don't like my vegetables to be so cooked that they're mush. I want that bite crispiness. Like I don't want them to be like raw, but I also don't want to feel like I'm eating a mashed vegetable. And at that point, I just have mashed vegetables. I think it's a very nice pairing with the steak. I can do with a little bit less butter, but obviously it's a personal thing. It's not a bad side and compliment to the steak. It's like meat made from plants and then a pile of plants. It works. 3.5 out of 5.
16-ounce Delmonico ribeye, gluten-free.
Surprise, surprise, I ordered a steak. Rather, I asked the waitress what she preferred off the magical dining menu. Since we've never been in this restaurant, we've never heard anything about this restaurant, either good nor bad. What would be her favorite? Now, like I said, Marcella's is a steakhouse. They are known for their steak. But when you come to a place that it's going to sell magical dining, a lot of you are looking for the biggest value in your meals. It's going to be a steak. This is a 16-ounce thick cut ribeye in their style. These sort of thicker cuts are what they're known for. It's cooked medium, not medium rare, so I know you steak people are ready to come for me. Again, I ordered this chef's choice. Because they have a thick cut ribeye, they prefer to cook them medium to sort of render down some of the fat, get those flavors up in that steak. That nice meaty flavor for you. So, we're gonna dive right in. When you come to where the steak people hang out, I guess I gotta eat like the steak people do. Now the steak's got a nice char to it. Cuts easy enough. That looks like medium. It's definitely not the medium rare. Temperature looks good. Let's see if the flavor tastes good. Ooh. I can see the appeal of the longer cook and the rendered fat. The flavor. For those of you that happen to eat meat, that sort of like extra savory flavor you get when something is like recooked in its own fat, like for instance, like cooking like a bird, like in like duck fat and things like that. It just soaks up. You bite into it, and that juice you get is almost an intoxicant in and of itself. It's not alcohol, but it's like that kind of flavor that's so juicy and flavorful that the bite will make you feel intoxicated. And in a steakhouse, that's what you want. Is it not? It's a good steak. Now again, this is a steakhouse. You order a steak, all of the servings as far as sides, a la carte, they're sort of family style, like larger portions. I would take it. For one of my old coworkers, if you're gonna come here with a friend, come here with the boys, come here with the partner, come here with a buddy, a bro ham, female ham, a they-them ham. Order your entrees, split aside. It's always the best way. This steak, and I'm not a steak person, easy, 4.5 out of 5 points. You like steak, this is a magical time to come here and try. But the steaks just come by themselves. As a sort of like side garnish, they give you a spinning salad with a single sun-dried tomato in it. This, in and of itself, is a little comical to me. It feels like it was meant to balance the plate. Honestly, this is a steakhouse, and you just give me the steak in the center of the plate. That is all the balance that is needed. But you put it on the plate, so I'm going to assume I'm meant to eat it. So I'm eating it. That's a very tangy sun-dried tomato. The spinach isn't dressed, but the sun-dried tomato is so seasoned that it might as well be dressed. It's very interesting. It's a sad side salad, but if you were looking to say, I had some vegetables with dinner, you have vegetables with dinner. I'd give the salad a 2.5 out of 5 claws. It's not getting any more than that.
The crispy Brussels sprouts.
Here is a side of Brussels sprouts that I got with my meal. This is a large portion of Brussels sprouts. Easily, like I said, half these with a friend. But we got some charred Brussels sprouts with some horseradish cream sprinkled with the Parmesan, all crispy and cooked down. They look beautimous. They look significantly charred. Let's invite them into my parlor. I was worried when I see horseradish cream on the menu. Because horseradish is a strong, sort of like sauce base, and it's very easy to overpower whatever it touches. This is like striking the balance. You get that flavor of the horseradish without feeling like it's going to everything else on the plate, which is good. The Brussels sprouts are nice and crispy. The Parmesan adds a little touch. They're a good Brussels, they're a good side. I still say it's a lot, but again, just split. I'm going to give it 3.75 out of 5 points.
Banana cream pie, vegan.
Banana cream pie. I don't really do that, but I think I should be like a waka waka while I eat it, right? Because it's a cream pie. Let's go in on it. There's a lot of cream in here, which I guess is the point. I missed the pie. Here we go. Oh my gosh. This is not working out for me. Okay. Well, now I have a huge banana cream bite, so I guess I came into my mistakes. Cheers. This is really good. It's giving me like Disney vibes. when you get one of those frozen bananas with the dark chocolate on it with the nuts, and you eat one of those, this is like that in cake form, and I love it. It is a 5 out of 5. It is a princessities item. I love this dessert, and then overall, I think this meal has been like fire. I really recommend coming here, or if you're staying here, eating here, because this is surprisingly amazing meal, and this dessert is huge and good too. So get you some of this.
Our princess may love desserts, but I have yet to see a dessert that she cannot make an absolute mess of and take the absolute biggest bite. That's a berry bite that she took. I'm not taking that big a bite. I'm gonna dig right in here. I'm gonna get a little bit of the creams. I'm gonna get some of the banana. Well, yeah, I said that, and now look at me taking just a bigger bite. Here's the thing. My mother, Mama Bear, some of you have seen her in a video once or twice. One of my favorite family recipes, doesn't come from my mother, is banana pudding. I have not been able to have the family recipe for banana pudding in quite some time because of my lactose intolerance. I get very ill. I'll still eat it, but I'll get very ill. I need somebody, not me, because I don't want to get cussed out, to send this recipe to my mother, because I love this. If my mother could make me a vegan version or lactose-free version of banana pudding based off this, I'd weigh 1,000 pounds. So maybe it's good that she doesn't know how to make this. This is a 5 out of 5 clause. I don't want to give this bowl back to the princess. I would throw hands over this bowl. We would fight. She would win, but we would fight.
Torta caprese, gluten-free.
So this is decadent-looking classic take on chocolate cake and ice cream is the torta caprese. This is a flourless chocolate cake with a berry compote and a vanilla gelato on top of a little crumble. I'm gonna dig right into this cake and the ice cream, knowing full well what it could do to me. But we're at dessert, and worst come to worst, I live in the bathroom for the rest of the night. That's good cake. Deep and chocolatey. It's even more brownie than cake, which is usually what I get from most flourless cakes. The sweet tart of the berry combined with vanilla gelato. And I think vanilla ice cream gelato, one of the most boring flavors on the planet. And when you add berries and chocolate to it, that's a win. It's a 4 out of 5 plus. I think that the vegan steak is worth the price of entry alone.
I have to say, because so many vegans don't agree. Actually, I won't say vegans, but a lot of people, vegan and non-vegan, get really twisted when I say that I like going to steakhouses because I am vegan, but literally the best vegan food that I have had has been at a steakhouse. And I don't think that this one is any exception. I absolutely loved all the vegan options, and considering that you're like smack dab in the middle between Disney and Universal and right next to SeaWorld and Epic and the convention center, you literally have no reason to not come here.
Steakhouses seem to be far more aware of vegan food than some of the other places in town. That's saying a lot. But if you guys want us to visit more steakhouse comments, it's a good place to find us. Hit that notification bell if you want to see other videos like this. And
we have new videos 5 days a week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We will see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, I don't know where Bear's going to eat himself, because we've never been in this hotel before, but it's really big and pretty, and I'm sure he's going to eat himself somewhere that hurts.
I'm going to pull a Batman, but you heard the girl.